This guy went from an 800-pound man who played video games all day to an inspiration around the world when he turned his whole life around and got in the shape of his life. Let's check out his journey.
I weighed 823 pounds. Today, I weigh about 245. Lifestyle at my heaviest, kind of non-existent. I would definitely say I had a food addiction. Choosing to have the surgery is by far the best decision of my life.
So I made a video about this guy a few weeks ago, and a lot of people in the comments were saying I should have done my research. I should have learned about what this guy, was up to now. And obviously I had already looked into him before that video, but I wanted to film that to show the beginning of his journey and to show that no matter where you're starting from or what you're struggling with, there is a happy ending. Like you can accomplish anything you want. You can go after your goals no matter what is holding you down. This guy was in a pretty rough place in his life, and now he has completely turned his life around, showing that anyone can do anything. This guy is a huge inspiration. That's why I'm filming this part 2, to show you guys that it is possible and it's never too late.
Didn't really like people, didn't like being seen, I didn't like socializing, felt like a freak show. I didn't shower inside. I showered in a trough tub outside for a while. I didn't drive.
Talking about when he was at his heaviest, being over 800 pounds, I mean, there's not much you can do it that way. If you guys watched the other video, you saw he was bathing in a trough outside because he couldn't fit in a shower. He wasn't able to drive. He wasn't able to live a normal life. His life consisted of him waking up and staying in bed most of the day because he just wasn't physically able to get out of bed. So the fact that he turned his entire life around, the fact that he wanted it so bad that he actually made it happen is very, very inspiring. He could have been totally content with living that way for the rest of his life, which wouldn't have been long if he continued down that route, but he could have been content with waking up, playing video games, eating food, and that's it. But this guy wanted a better life for himself. This guy knew that he was meant for more than that, and he went after it, and he did it.
My relationship with food growing up was always super toxic. I would definitely say I had a food addiction. There were two things that were like the hugest catalyst. My nephew was born. And I was just like, I'm your only uncle. I love you. I can't be this giant blob of a man. And I was just like, this is not the life that I want for me or this kid. And then also 9 years ago, I was sitting in my living room and I couldn't get off the ground. I just couldn't get up. So we called my cousin. He brought a friend. They wrapped a sheet around me, lifted me up off the ground, sat on the couch. My other cousin was like, you should just go to the hospital tomorrow and admit yourself into the emergency room. We did that. And then I stayed in the hospital for 4.5 weeks just being overweight. And they were like, you're gonna die. If you stay on this course, you will die soon.
So it sounds like this guy had a lot of wake-up calls. He had to go to the hospital where they told him he was gonna die. He couldn't get up off the floor. He can't shower normally. He couldn't drive. He wanted to be there for his nephew. I mean, he had a lot of things that were pushing him toward this better life, and he knew in his mind that he wanted it and that he deserved it. If you're out there struggling with something, it doesn't have to be weight related, but it can be just anything in your life. Take a look at this guy. At his heaviest, at over 800 pounds, he sat there and he thought that it was possible. If you guys are struggling with weight, if you guys are struggling with your job or your family life or anything, it is possible. It is possible.
Started going to the gym, lost weight, dropped down, but that stopped. So then I gained some weight back, enter a friend, the possibility of being on the show comes in for TLC, and then I had sleeve surgery on my stomach. I had a surgery in September of 2018, bariatric sleeve surgery.
So back in 2018, he had a surgery that was going to help him lose some weight, which I think is fantastic. If you're at the point that he was, sometimes that's the only option. I know a lot of you out there aren't 823 pounds, so this isn't the option for everyone, but for his case, this was the right way forward. This was only 6 years ago, so the fact that he's been able to make this much gains in 6 years is incredible. He is now 245 pounds. That is an insane transformation, and that's 245 pounds with all that loose skin. So he's got a ton of loose skin that is weighing him down on top of that. So if he got rid of all that loose skin, got some surgery for that, he would be weighing even less than that. He could probably drop another 20 pounds just of loose skin, which is incredible to see. I mean, you can see the smile on his face. He looks so happy with himself, and he should be. He's given himself a second chance. Nobody could have forced him to eat better. Nobody could have forced him to start working out. I mean, he has to make the decision for himself. So Casey King, if you're watching this, you're a Legend, man.
Immediately after the surgery, you're on a liquid diet. And then you move into pureed foods. And then as I got smaller, I got more active and I was able to do more things. And then I would eat healthier, I would do more. And then I noticed that, like, if I just ate a couple more salads, if I ate, a little less carbs and not so much fried food and more grilled vegetables and like meat, I just lost, weight. That's a huge lifestyle change from where I was to where I am now.
So after his surgery, it sounded like there was a few things that he had to do to like get back into regular life, eat pureed food, smoothies, like liquid diet. So that doesn't sound super easy, but he was able to get through that roadblock. I'm sure that was very difficult for him. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't think anyone would want to live off of drinks and pureed food. That just doesn't sound enjoyable. But this guy did what had to be done and got through that difficult time. It has paid off in every single way imaginable. He's able to eat the foods he wants again, just lower in calories. There's so many recipes out there that you can turn the foods that you love into lower calorie versions so that you can stay at this healthy weight. Someone like him weighing over 800 pounds, obviously you gotta have a big appetite to weigh that much. So he obviously likes food. He doesn't have to give any of that up. He can still enjoy these foods, but being conscious about what ingredients you're using to make those foods can make all the difference. I'm gonna be making some videos in the future of certain recipes that are higher in calorie and also lower in calories. So depending on your goals, if you're trying to bulk up and you want something that's higher in calories, then I'm gonna be making videos for that. And if you are trying to slim down, lose some weight, I'm going to be making videos for some lower calorie options as well. So stay tuned for that.
At my heaviest, my dad was like an extension of me. He was my cook, my transportation, my only friend. I didn't go anywhere without him.
I guess in a way I was part of the cause of him gaining so much weight. But at the time, I was just trying to be a good father and take care of him. And I was scared he was gonna die. Deep down inside, he was just frustrated the way he was.
I don't blame you for me getting like big. Like, it's not your fault. You were just trying to take care of me. I mean, I was huge. I wasn't the nicest because I was just addicted to foods. I did it. I ate the food.
I never in my wildest dreams would have thought he would have got down to what he is now. It's been one hell of a journey. And I tell you what, I'm so proud of him. We really went through a lot. God, we did. Together. That's what made it so great. We did it together.
I mean, I lost all that weight and I just have, I have all these things that like I want for me, but I want him around, like see him. So I want him to see me fully fulfilled and not pass before any of those things happen. I love him and I owe him my whole life.
I love you too, man.
Thanks, man.
Getting a little emotional over here. So if you guys saw the first video, his dad was the one that was helping him, get all the food. He was living with his dad. His dad was the reason that he was alive. As he was just admitting right now, he didn't treat his dad very well despite all of that. They had a very rocky relationship. Seeing the dad be genuinely proud of his son for turning his whole life around and taking charge of his own life, it's very beautiful to see. It sounds like his dad was a huge motivation in him turning his life around. He wanted to obviously be there for his dad as well as others, but his dad being one of the closest people in his life, he was definitely a huge inspiration. I think their relationship is very beautiful. They obviously care a lot about each other. Seeing this moment, contrasted to, when we first took a look at them a few weeks ago, their relationship has come so far. They're both in a way better place now than they were before. And I think that's really beautiful.
Because of the weight loss, I feel a lot better about who I am. I'm a more confident person, but it's more so I'm now more critical of just different things. Like the loose skin is something that it's there. I hate it. It's literally like a suit. Like it's everywhere. It's the sides. I mean, it's just my circumstances that I'm living within right now. So we've talked about or planned to have skin removal for a long time. People don't understand how expensive it is. I've posted pictures of this on Instagram, and this is the one where people are like, they give their most unfiltered, ignorant, not sparing my feelings. People think they're going to tell you things like, just lose weight. Everything will be okay. Well, guess what? I lost weight. Everything's not perfect because now I have this. I'm not done with my transformation here or here. I'm not perfect. I'm pretty, but I'm not perfect.
Obviously, being that heavy and losing that much weight, you know, over 600 pounds of weight loss, he's going to have loose skin. He's saying how much skin removal costs. And I mean, obviously it doesn't sound cheap. You know, as he's saying, he's not done with his transformation yet. You know, in a few years time, when he does decide to get some skin removal surgery, if he does decide to go through with that, I'll be making another video on an even more updated version of his transformation because, you know, that's got to be one of the craziest transformations I've ever seen. He's able to live a normal life now, you know, despite, you know, having the loose skin that he doesn't love. I mean, obviously he doesn't love it, but it is what it is for right now. You know, if he let that stop him from going out and doing these things, then, you know, he could never be happy. You know, there's always going to be something that, you know, he doesn't like about himself. So the fact that, you know, he's accepted it, you know, he still wants to work on himself and look at, you know, getting the surgery. Looking at his entire journey, it sounds like nothing has ever been able to stop this guy. So huge props to Casey.
Cousin.
Hi,
Hello.
cousin.
Hi.
How's it going? How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
So do you have anything planned in the near future as far as dates, or are you dating someone consistently?
I mean, I'm seeing someone, but we haven't made like the full of like, you're mine, I'm yours. It's an official thing. But I'm happy with the way things are going right now.
Looks like the end of this video is him talking to his cousin about his dating life. If you guys want to see the full video, check out the link in the description. You guys can check out the full thing. Let me know what you guys think about this guy's transformation. I am personally super inspired by this guy. You know, as someone who has been on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, being super underweight most of my life, wanting better for myself, wanting a healthier life, seeing this guy's transformation, it's a huge inspiration for me. You know, I am ready to go out there and, you know, continue my journey. If you guys are new around here, this is where I started and this is where I am now. Obviously, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. You know, I am grinding every day in the gym. You know, I'm working on eating the right amount of calories to get to my goals. But a huge lesson we can learn from this guy is that you got to be happy along the way. If you tell yourself you're not going to be happy until you achieve this specific goal, then you're just going to be miserable. You got to take each step one step at a time. You know, you got to take it for what it is. Nobody's journey in anything in life is going to be perfectly linear. It's not going to be step A to step B. You know, there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be things that get in the way. You got to be able to look back on where you started and know that, you know, you are making good progress, you know, whether some days it feels like it or not. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you were able to find some motivation in Casey King's story. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.